Lord Jesus, do you see those gray hairs? Oh no. Please, Beverly, open up the salons. I need my hair done. Oh, it's shameful. Bad hair day aside, we're going to talk about something that's very important. And that is walking back into society. Guess what? Guess what? It's getting close. We're going to be able to open the economy back up. And yes, we're going to have to be careful. We're going to have to be careful because there are compromised individuals like me out there that are going to have to stay home a little bit longer and, use a little bit more safety common sense than others may want to employ. And that's okay because everyone's issues are different and individual, and that's okay because as long as you do what's best for you, you're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. So you know something? I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's get the world back to running. So what is my biggest concern about society? Well, here it is in a nutshell. Over the last couple of months, one thing that we have really done is polarized as a society. As a citizen group, we have formed such a very entrenched tribalism to where we adopt to one or the other political side. We don't even see some of the independent spectrums anymore. You're either in the orange man bad team or the orange man good team. And it's really, really, really shameful, some of the things that people will say online to people they don't even know. Strangers. So here's why I'm so concerned. We're going back into society. We're all going back to work. We're all going back out there to interact, grocery shop, do things that we used to do that were normal that are going to seem abnormal for a while. And I know everybody's going, Mama Liz, why are you so worried about that? We got that. We know how to do all that. We don't. We have reformed as a citizen group. That polarization and the tension and the communication online is going to project into society. We are going to build a new society. We are going to create new societal norms, and we are going to ask people to change the way that they adapt and integrate in groups. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned because it seems what we've learned how to do online is attack, and then run. You can't do that in real life. So these people that feel very prominent and very, very self-assured online, that are speaking to people they know they will never meet, never come face to face with, never be held accountable by, they get away with some behavior. They push the trigger, push the button in their brain that says, I'm allowed to do this because I will not be held accountable. Just an update, it's a really sucky way to live your life. Y'all need to change that. We are, in essence, how we treat others. And our society is a direct mirror of our expectations for how we treat others. So as we step back into society, there are going to be some things we're going to have to definitely discuss and talk about. Number one, you cannot attack somebody for their political beliefs. It is never okay to verbally antagonize someone for a belief system or an opinion that they are allowed to have. You must acknowledge that that is their freedom and their right, and you must allow them to have it. Otherwise, you are asserting dominance and trying to overtake their domain in their individual aspect as a person. We don't get to do that. We each get to stand alone, and we each get to have our own ideologies and belief systems and opinions, and we get to subscribe to whatever kind of life we want as long as it's within a legal component. So if you're one of those people that has had a very hard time see people online give an opinion or make a statement that you don't really agree with, you're going to struggle as you go back into society because we all have now formed very, very passionate opinions, and we're going to see those play out now in close proximity and probably with a lot of violent behavior. I'm concerned. So if you can take a moment to talk to yourself about why you should not invade somebody else's beliefs, opinions, or the way they live their life or personal space, it would be a good time to sit down and have that talk with yourself and remind yourself that no matter what somebody believes, the only person you can control is you and the immediate ground on which you stand. Sometimes it's eye-opening. Big girls, we get more ground. The next thing is to try to remember to not create a problem. Remember that there is actual contention. There is a lot of animosity that is present right now. We don't need to add to it. The actual problems that we're facing as a society, there's a disease that we're trying to cope with and understand and find a way to deal with. But there's also a lot of misinformation and mistrust in the media component. And that seems to be the two biggest issues that everyone as a society is sharing right now. And it seems that instead of us focusing on those two issues, we tend to focus on the other people and how they view that issue. And we need to remember to focus on the issue and not make the other person the issue. While the other people are allowed to have that viewpoint, that perspective, that opinion, it doesn't make them wrong or right. It doesn't make them less, of a person, less worthy. It just makes them of a different mindset. And because you're of a different mindset, you're not creating or adding to the instability of the world. You simply have a mindset and an opinion. We need to focus on the problem and not make people the problem, but focus on the problem and make the problem the problem. So if you have concerns about misinformation or deflection in the media when it comes to telling the truth or being held accountable, it's time to start writing those politicians and having those discussions with people that can feed that information up. And, maybe starting some groups that kind of talk to the, your local area and community about how you can form groups, community groups, and possibly change this, or at least take better control and ownership over the media that is in your small area and neck of the woods. But just remember, it's a disease and media misinformation. That's the problem, not the other person with other beliefs. Don't lose people because you lose focus of where the problem is. I'm really excited about getting back to the world. In some ways, I'll stay home longer than most people because I am an at-risk individual. But all I've heard for the last 3 months has been frogs. Frogs, crows, dogs, and the occasional FedEx truck that rumbles down the road. I've had such little contact and such little feedback and such little happiness over the last several weeks that I understand how difficult this must be for other people. And I have numerous coping skills and a lot of awareness about what I'm going through when I see myself go through these things. Some people don't. So I've even had problems. So don't think little of yourself. Don't go, oh, I must be a horrible person because I'm struggling with this. We're all struggling. And I'm struggling huge because literally I've talked to the frogs from my front porch. I've had more conversations with my cat and dog in 2 months than I have with real people. And I think I may have forgotten how to drive my Jeep. I'm not lying. So get back out there. And when you're ready, interact. Make good memories. Have positive days. Be happy with your friends. Take it at your own pace, but don't forget to also challenge yourself. This is literally how we create the new society that we are going into. Take that positivity and those good vibes and let's create a good society to where we actually care about the people we come across more than we did 3 months ago. It's possible. Because the most important thing is just to be good to each other.